Alright guys, welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all hanging in there right now for Bitcoin. So yes, today I do want to give you guys an update on what is exactly happening right now for Bitcoin. There is in fact a fair few charts that I do want to show you guys, and something pretty interesting did happen today for Bitcoin. So I do want to talk about that. Now before we talk about all those things, I do want to give you guys a quick update. What is exactly happening right now for Bitcoin? So Bitcoin today, guys, holding strong, still above 100k, which is always great to see, right? But Bitcoin right now currently at 108. Now a couple of days ago, okay, we did actually see Bitcoin pumping, okay, and we did see it pump all the way above $110,000, okay, 110.6. And it looked like, Bitcoin was ready to reach back up to, $111,000. Bitcoin went as high as 111.9, didn't quite get to 112. It was almost there, but it didn't quite get there, right? So, we did in fact see Bitcoin, a couple of days ago, about 2 days ago, reaching back up to 110, and it was looking pretty good, right? Bitcoin was looking like it was ready to reach back up to its previous highs of 111, even reaching a new all-time high, okay? But you can clearly see right over here, okay, we're kind of at the 1 hour time frame, and we did in fact see Bitcoin having a slight drop, okay? And at one point it went all the way as low as 107, but right now it's about bounced back up to 108, okay? So I will talk about why, okay, potentially we did in fact see Bitcoin having this correction, okay, back down to 107 to 108, right? But we'll talk about that towards the end of this video. But yeah, in my opinion, this is just a small correction, nothing too crazy, right? Bitcoin is slightly down, okay, like 1% today, so nothing too crazy. Ethereum is slightly down as well, 2%. A fair few alts today are down as well. Solana's down, okay, 4%. Doge is down over 3%. Cardano is down 2%. Let's have a look at Casper. Casper is currently down 3%, still holding strong above 7 cents. So, we're not seeing huge moves yet happening for Casper. But yeah, a fair few alts today are down, right? You guys can clearly see that, okay? For the past 24 hours, a fair few alts are down. Look at Uniswap, down almost pretty much 7%, right? So, yeah, fair few alts are dropping, okay? A couple of days ago, we did actually see a fair few alts pumping, but now they are slightly dropping, okay? And yeah, the Bitcoin monthly returns today, we are so far, okay, it's so far up, 1%, nothing too crazy. And, usually July is pretty, decent for Bitcoin. Usually July, Bitcoin does perform pretty well, right? Yes, clearly see that in like previous years. Okay, we did actually see Bitcoin performing pretty decently in the month of July in different years, right, for Bitcoin. Okay, you guys clearly see it is majority of greens. But yeah, July is most always bullish for Bitcoin. So maybe this time it won't be different. Okay, we'll have to see. Okay, we'll see where the next upcoming few weeks will bring us for Bitcoin. Okay, we are still early into this month. We're only 5 days in, not even a week in yet. So we still have, more than 3 weeks into this month of July. So we will see, where July will take us. Hopefully, Bitcoin does perform pretty decently in this month of July. But understand, guys, and I told you guys this, a fair few times, August and September are pretty bearish for Bitcoin. We just clearly see the month of August, it is pretty bearish, okay? A fair few reds, okay, in different years in the month of August. Same with September, especially September. September is truly one of the worst and bearish months for Bitcoin, okay? But obviously that could change because last year, 2024, was actually in the greens, and that was actually the best performing September ever for Bitcoin in Bitcoin history, right? It was up 7% for 2024 in the month of September. Even in 2023, it was up slightly, almost 4%, right? So we'll see, okay, where August and September will bring us, but I'm expecting a lot of ups and downs for Bitcoin, okay, in the next few months, okay? So Q3, we will see where it will take us. But yeah, I do believe Q3 we're going to see a lot of ups and downs, okay, which is normal for Bitcoin. We know it's a really volatile asset, right, as we all know. But Q4, I'm expecting Bitcoin to really skyrocket, okay, in alt season, right? I do believe alt season will be happening as well. I mean, the Bitcoin dominance is still above 65%. It is still looking pretty good for the Bitcoin dominance. Okay, if we go to the weekly time frame, it is really not showing any weakness at all, right, for the Bitcoin dominance. Okay, and obviously we have to see a massive drop happening for the Bitcoin dominance. So that's going to be like a clear signal that alt season will be happening. And so far, the Bitcoin dominance, it's still looking pretty strong, right? It's not showing any weakness at all. Okay, so who exactly knows when alt season will start? But in my opinion, I do believe it's going to be starting, in my opinion, maybe around Q3, which is where we are right now, or in Q4. Okay, we'll have to see, guys. But I do believe alt season will be happening shortly. Okay, and I know I've been saying that many, many times. Like, we are in fact seeing a delay happening for alt season. But history doesn't exactly repeat itself, but it does rhyme, I guess. Okay. But yeah, understand, guys, Bitcoin either way, as I told you guys, Q3, we're going to see a fair few ups and downs for Bitcoin. But understand, right, we're going to see Bitcoin reaching new highs either way. Okay, either way, guys. Okay, so you guys clearly see, and I've talked about this many times, global money supply is skyrocketing. And you guys have to understand, when we see the money supply going up, usually Bitcoin does follow it. Okay, obviously Bitcoin, okay, it kind of like follows it later on. Okay, so obviously, the money supply, the global money supply goes up, and then later on, right, Bitcoin will follow and go up with it. Usually that's just what happens, right? So understand, you have to clearly see M2 global money supply has been going up. Okay, all-time highs right now. You guys can see that. So understand, Bitcoin will follow it and go up with it. So understand, we're gonna see Bitcoin reaching new highs no matter what. Okay, we're gonna see Bitcoin going to 130 to 150 to 180, and I do believe 200k and beyond is very, very possible. 220 to 250. I think these price targets Bitcoin will be reaching shortly, so be prepared for that. So understand, guys, right? We are in fact in a bull run. Okay, we are pretty much about to enter this zone. Okay, a lot of people call it the banana zone, right? And a fair few people call it, the bull zone, right? You can call it whatever you want, but when Bitcoin is in this zone, okay, we're gonna see some gold candles forming for Bitcoin. It's gonna go parabolic. Okay, and it's just gonna skyrocket. So I hope you guys are prepared for this. I hope you guys have accumulated some Bitcoin at these price levels, because Bitcoin is really gonna go up to 130, 150, 180 to 200k and beyond. Okay, that's gonna happen. Whether you are ready or not, whether you like it or not, it's going to happen no matter what. And Bitcoin is not gonna wait for no one. Okay, so understand, when Bitcoin is in this zone, okay, this bull zone, banana zone, right, it's going to go parabolic. We're going to see some gold candles forming for Bitcoin. Okay, so be prepared for that, guys. Okay, just remember, we are in fact in a bull run. So understand, the next leg up will be legendary. That's true, right? We're going to see Bitcoin reaching a top. Okay, understand, guys, the top is not in yet for Bitcoin. Okay, it's going to be reaching an all-time high. No one exactly knows where the all-time high is. No one has a crystal ball to tell you that, right? And our predictions, okay, many predictions out there, right, that people have made in the crypto space have been wrong. So who exactly knows where the all-time high, where the top will be for Bitcoin? Personally, I think 200k to 220 to even 250, maybe 300k is very, very possible during this bull market right now. I truly do believe that is very, very possible. Some people are predicting even higher than 300k. Some people are predicting 500k, even 700k. Now, as much as I am bullish on Bitcoin, I don't think Bitcoin will be reaching these price targets. That's just personally me, right? I'm sticking with 200k to 250, maybe even 300k max. Okay, but I'm trying to be realistic with you guys. Okay, with my predictions. Okay, I'm pretty sure you guys can agree that there is potential that we can for sure see Bitcoin reaching at least $200,000 and higher. Right, it is very, very possible. But yeah, I want to talk about this. So, obviously the Bitcoin price falls to $107,000 despite $1 billion spot Bitcoin ETF inflow. So what happened here? Okay, why did we see Bitcoin having, this correction that I talked about at the beginning of this video? Well, maybe this is the reason, right? So And this is crazy, guys. So someone bought 10,000 Bitcoins for only $15,400 and hodled for 14 years, guys, which is crazy. 14 years. Okay. And sold today for $1.1 billion. So someone just became a Bitcoin billionaire, not a millionaire, a billionaire, guys. Okay, you guys can clearly see that. So you guys can clearly see the amount of Bitcoins, 10,000, okay, 14 years ago, right? And they clearly sold it just today, right? All of it for over $1 billion, okay, $1.1 billion, guys, okay? And this is just a clear example, guys, of Bitcoin legends, okay? People that actually have diamond hands, people that are simply holding Bitcoin for long term. Okay, they don't care what Bitcoin is doing short term. They understand where Bitcoin is heading long term, and that's exactly what this person did, right? I don't know if it's a single person. I don't know if it's a group of people. Who exactly knows, right? But whoever this person is became a billionaire just by simply buying Bitcoin in its early stages, right? 14 years ago, which was what, 2011, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's in 2011. And, they accumulated 10,000 Bitcoins and they held it, okay, for 14 years, right, over 14 years, and they sold it today for, over $1 billion. And now they became a billionaire. Crazy to think about, guys. Okay, this person invested over 15K, and that 15K in the next, 14 years turn into $1 billion, over $1 billion. Just think about that. That's crazy, right? And this can be you. Please understand that, guys. Not a billionaire, but a millionaire. Okay, understand that. I've been telling guys many times to buy Bitcoin. And this is not financial advice, guys, right? Always do your own research. But I truly do believe people out there that are simply buying Bitcoin, that are accumulating Bitcoin right now, that are stacking stats. Okay, and I really do believe if you simply hold a full Bitcoin, you will become very, very wealthy down in the future. I'm talking 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now and beyond, right? I truly do believe if you simply own a full Bitcoin, just one Bitcoin, one whole Bitcoin, you will be very, very wealthy down in the future. Okay, even just holding, I don't know, 10% of a Bitcoin, 0.1 Bitcoin, I really do believe if you just own and accumulate 0.1 Bitcoin, right, 10% of a Bitcoin, you will become a millionaire as well. Because understand, guys, Bitcoin will be a digital asset that's going to be worth not just $1 million, but millions of dollars. Okay, Marcus Saylor has said, Bitcoin base case scenario in the year 2045, it's going to be reaching $13 million. And if Bitcoin reaches $13 million per Bitcoin, that 0.1 Bitcoin will be worth $1 million, right? So just think about that. Okay, so stack your Bitcoins, guys. This is the best time to do it. Okay, and it's still early, right? I get it. A lot of us are looking at the Bitcoin price, think it's too late, but understand, Bitcoin will be a digital asset that's going to be worth millions of dollars. Please understand that. Okay, so that being said, you guys do your own research. Okay, but yeah, I appreciate all you guys for watching this video. Give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel. That is always much appreciated. And yeah, I will catch you guys all in my next video. Have a good one, guys.